Hello, welcome to this nighttime taste challenge, another nighttime taste challenge. I have two blended Scotch whiskeys, two 40% alcohol, no age statement blended Scotch whiskeys. Um, this is King Robert II, which has been owned by Ian Macleod Distilling Company, although I don't think they distill anything, more like Distillers Product Company. Well, they might own distilleries. I don't think so. Since 1968. So Ian Macleod bought this in 1968. It's been on the market longer than that. I can't find any trademark data on it, like when it was introduced, because as you notice on the label, it does not say that it's trademarked. Interestingly, I bought this at World of Beverage in 2018. I was on a road trip and I was meeting up with John Anilli of Georgia Beer Reviews, now in via Massachusetts, but he lives in Massachusetts now. But this was $17.99 for this huge bottle, and I still have a lot left. Hey, it's not the greatest whiskey, but it's pretty good. Now, who actually blends it? Who actually distills it? Oh, well, that isn't a question that will probably never be answered. But it's glass, not cheap plastic. It's got a handle. That's why they call it a handle, because they're heavy, they don't want you to drop it. So it's got a handle. I've never seen it in Louisiana. Never, never, never. Black, red, and gold. Now the name has been updated. They call it treble wood, meaning three types of wood, sort of like the Grants, three types of wood. They don't describe the wood. All right, here is Legacy. Blended Scotch whiskey. Introduced in 1962. It is copyrighted or trademarked. Sorry. Copyright is like a book or a song or a movie. Trademarked. That's why Tomatin is sold as, if you go to England or Canada, they have Tomatin Legacy, but in the United States, it's sold as Tomatin Dualcus because they can't sell Tomatin Legacy Scotch whiskey because there's already a Legacy Scotch whiskey. And I know you might say, yeah, but there's Legacy blended Canadian whiskey also, which I've never bought, but I've seen it. That's right, but they're both owned by Buffalo Trace, the Sazerac company. So they own both legacy brands, so it's no conflict there. William Burke says, have you ever done Jim Beam Devil's Cut, which I like a lot, or Jim Beam Double Oaked, which I have yet to try? No, but I have both bottles. I bought both bottles because I got a bad feeling that they were going to change stuff because it started changing everything. And I bought them for a good price, like $16.99, and I've seen them at Walmart for $27.99. I was like, what? Are y'all crazy? So I do have both. I have not opened them yet, but I'm going to start a Jim Beam series. So I got to get through all these bourbons that's not Jim Beam first, which is too many. So yeah, I know about it. I have it on the shelf, and I just haven't gotten into it. All right, so let's look at the website for Ian Macleod, which we get some of their products around here. I don't know really much about the company, and I don't think a whole lot of people do. Here's King Robert II blended Scotch whiskey from a famous Scottish king. King Robert II blended Scotch whiskey unites whiskeys from the Highlands, the Lowlands, and Speyside in a rich, slightly smoky, second to none dram. You ever notice how these websites, their whiskey is second to none? That means every whiskey is awesome. So there's a 12-year age, a 15-year age, and the treble cask, or the base model. Now the triple cask, the base model, is gonna probably be cheap. You might for the regular size bottle, you might find it for $12.99, something like that. There's a video about Robert II. There's an old dilapidated castle. You can sign more. But this company has a lot of brands. You might recognize some of these. I do recognize some of these, like Schildig, Langs, Macleod. Of course, King Robert II. I recognize Isle of Scotch. Okay, so they own the Glengoyne distillery. All right. So they do own distilleries. Single malt whiskey distillery. All right. But they mostly just like procure stuff. There is a King Robert II gin, as you can see. It's a whole line of liquors that they bought from some other company in 1968. There's King Robert II vodka. King Robert II dark rum and white rum. Now, I'm sure you'll notice that they're the best you can get your hands on. Distilled in the West Indies, King Robert II finest old dark rum and light dry. Both make ideal cocktails. So they're just the best, folks. Even though they might be cheap. Dr. Frosty Bruce says, cheers, Ron. Dusk Busters. He says, are you going to do a special Thunder and Thursday on Thanksgiving? Oh, no, I don't believe so. With football on. Got too many football-related issues. I was watching basketball, in fact, and it was interesting, but I mean, I don't know those teams too well. Creighton and Colorado and Connecticut and so forth. Well, I mean, everybody knows Connecticut, but you know what I'm saying? Then one game was kind of a runaway and I was watching it. The other one was sort of close. But the head coach for Connecticut was getting on my nerves at the Maui Invitational, like falling on the ground and talking about today, or almost falling and being all theatrical. And I was like, I don't really like coaches like that. All right. But there's some games on tonight I'd like to watch. And in fact, there's a Mid-American Conference game coming on in about 25 minutes, which I would like to watch football. It is football season. I got basketball to watch all the way till March and April, but I do like to watch college basketball. Oh, actually, the not basketball actually, the NBA not basketball actually. I can kind of live without that. They had all that piped in canned music the whole time, and it's like, yeah, we know it's boring, but we'll play a bunch of hip-hop music and other stuff and make it seem exciting. And they like travel the whole time. They're just traveling, and they get barely touched and they fall on the ground like they've been decapitated. I don't like it. Philadelphia Eagles are on fire. I know. So is Detroit, so don't overlook them. Good evening, gents. I'm having a double of Writer's Tears Double Oak in my pre-dinner coffee right now. Delish. Laughing out loud, says David Castor. I had shrimp and french fries for lunch with a little pasta salad. It was so filling, though. I didn't eat anything since. It was a good deal, but I don't know if that place is going to make it. I think my town is where restaurants come to die. But this one is darker. The King Robert II is clearly darker by a shade. Deep amber, and this is light amber. Okay. But I have to admit, the shrimp were very well fried. The batter was seasoned, and the tartar sauce was very good. And the cocktail sauce too. Somebody at work was like, "You don't use tartar sauce on French fries. You use cocktail sauce. Tartar sauce for fish." I was like, "I get all that. I don't care." Okay. David Cassidy says, "Nice, Ronald the Riot," says Drewski Brewski. Well, Drewski Brewski. If I hold my hands up, the camera will focus sometimes. It's a little tricky. Here we go. Hello, Gecko. I don't know, man. When I first did the Legacy, I was so geared up about it. And then my friend David tried it. He really liked it. And then I did the first taste challenge with the WD Liquors blended Scotch from the same parent company, and I got discouraged. And then I did earlier taste challenges, and I'm thinking that this Legacy is not leaving much of a legacy. But my initial review, when it gets posted, it's scheduled. I just schedule them, and whenever they post, you know. No, all mine. But I'm having second thoughts about it. But I only paid $14.99. $14.99 for the bottle. Beautiful plastic. Nothing says quality like the thud of plastic. Glass, $17.99. So we'll see. No age statement. Don't know how long they're aged. We know it's at least 3 years. Both 40% alcohol. Now, I think this one's bottled in Scotland, right? Yeah, bottled in Scotland. So this one is shipped to Buffalo Trace, and they bottle it. Save money. Save $3. Okay. Dr. Frosty Blue says, "Ron, what do you think about craft beers now available to buy at movie theaters?" Well, I never go see movies at the theater, or I don't really watch them on television, although I watched a documentary today about the Shah of Iran, which is very interesting. But I'm sure they're exorbitantly overpriced, like anything else at a movie theater. John Anile, one of my moderators. "Cheers, Ron. I thought the King Robert II was pretty good. Is that the same bottle you bought when you came to visit me in Georgia?" Yes. This is the same bottle I bought when I visited you and we went to see the Atlanta Braves. Sorry, we had to walk up a mountain. I didn't really look at the map carefully. Like I thought, I didn't realize they had elevation. You know, I'm looking at like a map. You know, and then but we went to World of Beverage, and that's where I bought that for $17.99. Oh yeah, I would never buy anything at a movie theater. Well, I never go to movie theaters. I hate movies. I don't like. I'm sorry. I'm being a downer. I'm being very antisocial, but I don't. People ask me all the time, "What do you think about this movie?" And I tell them I never even heard of it. Well, I heard a Scream too, but I would scream if I had to go watch it. I would be depressed that I would have to sit through it. I wouldn't be scared. I'm not scared of movies. I'm scared of the real world. Big Johnson and Neil. Cheers. Okay, Drewski Brewski. Well, all right. Well, getting back to planet Earth now. Let's mix them up. I like certain scenes in movies, but to watch a movie, can't do it. But I like documentaries, like the thing about the Shah. which I don't remember the title. Okay. I thought Superman the movie was a well-made superhero movie. I'll admit that. After that, they sort of went downhill pretty bad. I thought Batman was not very well made in 1989. We were talking about that, and I said they just did it wrong. It was done. It was just not done correctly. They were trying to make it sort of like the television series, kind of campy, which was, but the television series was much better than the movie. Had a better actor for Batman. Had a better, it was just better. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, would you watch the Vince McMahon documentary? I would not watch that. Okay. I was watching Donald Trump interviews last night from 1985, 87, from 40 something years ago, or almost 40 years ago. And I noticed that he always said the same thing he says now. Like he said the exact, it's like listening to him now, Oh, and from 1975, I was watching an interview with him from 1975 when he was 29 years old. It was like exactly the same, like he never changed. He's just saying the same things. Okay, that smells like standard whiskey. Don't know which one it is. Nothing remarkable, nothing bad. All right, over here. Okay, that's got a weird caramel candy aroma. That's got to be Legacy. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. Yeah, he didn't say that. Okay, he didn't say that kind of stuff in interviews. When I did a solo review, I never picked up any of these weird aromas. Now maybe it breathed. Now sometimes when they hit air, and I believe this, when these whiskeys hit air, it starts to change them. So you try it at first, it's different. Then it gets oxygen in the bottle. Now, a few days later, you try it. It's like, I didn't notice that. What's all these strange characteristics? And I think you can't say it got tainted by the air, but the exposure to the air changed it. And I think that's what happened here. Legacy seems so different, but now it's tasting like the WD liquors, Scotch, from the same parent company, might be the same distillery, might be the same liquor with different label. I would hate to say that, but I'm getting very suspicious. Okay. I know what it is already. I don't even have to taste it. I'm not going to taste it. This is Legacy. I don't have to taste it. I'm telling you, it's Legacy. It's going to have the right code on the label. Got it. On aroma only. So that's when I feel like I really achieved something, if one should call that achieving anything. No name body says boring. What's boring? Movies are boring? I agree. Not taste challenges. They're not boring, but I know you weren't referring to that. Okay, so aroma only. Got it. Didn't even have to taste it. There is a little bit of smoke. A little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. Not unlike Johnny Walker Red, although I think Johnny Walker Red label has a little bit more smoke. It's smoky. It's medium bodied, light to medium bodied. Has a dry finish. Peatiness, I don't guess it does have that. But it does have a little touch of smoke and some bread dough and bread. Brandon, I was just watching your beer review on hams, laughing out loud. Love your reviews. Oh, thank you, Brandon. Cheers. Good hams. I can still find it, but not in my town. I gotta go somewhere else. King Ronald, yes. I do like that smokiness. I have to admit, I cannot lie. Now the legacy. A legacy of what? Weird caramel candy aroma? Oh, yikes. I don't mind caramel candy, actually. I kind of like it. Uh, oh, that it has salt, right? That's like sugar and salt. Obviously, there's no salt, but it's strange. $3.99 for a 6-pack here at my local grocery store. That's incredibly cheap. I agree, Dr. Frosty Brew. It's $4.99 here or higher. Or higher. Louisiana does not have really that many good. We don't really have good beer prices. All right, our beer prices are average to slightly above average for the United States. Our liquor prices can be unusually low. I'll admit that. Like finding a handle like this for $9.99 last week. I didn't buy it. It was a brand I already had. I can't even remember what it was. I said $9.99. You know, but yeah, you don't see that really too much around. You're in central Illinois. Now, Illinois does have good beer prices. Question, Ron, does whiskey stored at room temperatures on a shelf have an expiration date, in your opinion, says David Cassidy? Meaning, will it lose flavor or ABV? I don't think it will lose ABV, and I don't think but it could lose flavor because of age. But it was like I was saying earlier in this video, it seems like when I crack it open and I first try it, it tastes different a few days later when it gets after it's been exposed to air, oxygen or whatever. So I think, but you can't help that. What are you going to do? Not drink it? You say, I'm going to save the flavor because I'm never going to drink it. Like these people that get all these craft beers and they never drink them. It's like, what do you have all these craft beers for? Oh, I'm saving them. I say, beer doesn't really hold up too well, right? You know that? Oh, it's an imperial stout. It's 14%. I'm saving it for 10 years. And then 10 years later, you try it, and it's like, it tastes like old beer. It's going off. Why you didn't drink it fresh? Oh, it would have been hot, meaning high alcohol. Well, it's 14%. What you thought was going to be soft? I mean, it there's no sense. Why, if you didn't want a hot beer, why you should have bought Busch Light? So when I get the beers, I drink the beers. Let's look at that. Get the beers, drink the beers. If I get Bourbon County this Friday, I'm going to drink it maybe Friday. Not going to save it. Not worried about it being hot. I got whiskey right here in my hands. I really wanted a 12-pack of Sam Adams Winter Lager, about an $18 price tag. Wasn't looking so good. I don't know what it would be here. It's something like that here. Maybe a little less, because I do see 12 packs of it here at the Winter Lager. I do see 12 packs. I do. It's a lager with spices. It's very nice. I like it. And I would buy it again and I would recommend it. I would buy it again and I would recommend it. Definitely. Nice product. Now, are Samuel Adams beers known to be really bold and full of flavor? Well, they kind of have a reputation for being kind of dull, actually. But that's one of the better ones. Their Flannel Fest is a little bit better than average. The Old Fezziwig, the Winter Lager. But a lot of their beers kind of, I said Busch Light earlier, they kind of like that. But if you're going to get something flatline, hey, why not get Busch Light for $10.99 a 12-pack instead of paying $18.99 a 12-pack, right? Makes sense. Or do like me and get natural ice for $10.49 a 15-pack. I know. I would get the 6-packs of Old Fezziwig. But you got to get the variety pack. All right. Is this a bad flavor? When the money's tight, I pick up Bud Ice. Oh, yeah. You can get deals on that sometimes, and it's a good product. Not great. We all know that. We don't need to be told that. We know that. It's nice. I really enjoyed the OVP and the Old Fezziwig from the Samuel Adams Winter Variety Pack, says John and Millie. The other beers were just meh, okay, in my opinion. That's the problem. That's why I always kind of steer away from the variety packs, because it's like I know I might find one that's going to be dynamite, and then the other 9 cans are going to be like, or bottles, because sometimes we get the bottles. It'd be like, oh yeah, same old humdrum kind of drab. And look, I'll be honest, craft beer these days is so dull. It's not even a joke. You say, oh, they got some great ones out there. They have some great ones, but you buy 20 beers, one will be great, the other 19 will be dull. Then you buy 20 more, and then 2 will be awesome, and 18 will be dull, and then you buy 20 more, and then 1 will be awesome, and 19 will be dull. Now, if that sounds like a great bargain, keep doing it. I'm not noticing that it's a great bargain. They remastered the Boston Lager as well. A lot of people didn't like that, laughing out loud. It didn't bother me. I didn't see where it was that much different. It was like 97% the same and 3% different. And the 3% difference was like almost imperceivable. They said it was more, drinkable or something? But I don't know. They on a slow fade anyway. I mean, look at Boston Lager. You see less of it every time. It's just like a slow, but it's going to take a long time. But it like started years ago, and it's just like slowly. You say, well, 20 years from now, it'll still be around. Yeah, but it would be like here, right? And then, okay, seemed a little more hoppy. Really? A lot of people said they knew the hops. Same recipe, different process, right? I didn't see much of a difference either, Ron. Says John and Nilly. Yeah, it was like a big storm of anger and angst and upset and anxiety, but it didn't amount to much. Now, Voodoo, New Belgium's Fat Tire, that was a big change. It was actually a different beer. They made it a totally different beer. But that was like an attempt to rescue a dying brand, because Fat Tire had been on the skids for a long time. People were not buying it. It wasn't that great to start with. It was just kind of bland back from the 90s, like tastes like bread crust, big deal. And it wasn't selling. And so they, not selling very well. And so they said, let's make a new Fat Tire. It'll be just as bland, but in a different way. It'll be like white bread instead of brown bread, and it'll be kind of flavorless. And did it help the sales? I don't believe so. Is it still on the fade? I think so. I think it's fading. Same thing with Newcastle, almost identical beer, but a lot more outrage. Yeah. Seems like Newcastle is holding its own, though. There's like a segment that keeps buying it. Not many people. The Lagunitas Newcastle it is good, though. It's not dull. At least the Lagunitas Newcastle has character. It has some flavor. It's not just all drab, drab, bland. My prediction: King Robert II for the win. Oh, you win, John and Neil. You win. Newcastle's only good on tap. What? Come on, Drewski Brewski. All right. I used to like the cans back years ago. We get the 14 point, some strange number, 14 points, 470. No, yeah, it was like 14.75 ounces. What is your favorite all-time beer? West Lateran 12. If you could only drink one beer for the rest of your life. I don't know. Can't answer that question. I don't like those kind of hypothetical questions. I don't know. You want to know the answer? I don't know the answer. King Robert II for the win. It's smoky. It's lighter bodied. It's better. Is it $3 better? Yep. Sure is. Legacy. Yeah, it's not too bad, but I won't repurchase it. It has been deteriorating in these taste challenges, and I got a long way to go. I just started. I don't know how it's going to, well, I do know how it's going to do. It's going to get decimated, exasperated, and annihilated by Dewar's 12 year, Ballantine's. It's going to get murdered by Johnny Walker Red, Johnny Walker Double Black, Johnny Walker 18 year, not 18 year, what's it called? The Johnny Walker Gold Label Reserve. Doesn't stand a chance. It might compete against Hunter Piper's. It might compete against J.W. Dant, but otherwise, I don't even think I have any more of that Sir Malcolm. I drank all that Sir Malcolm. It's pretty good, but no, it's not going to make it. I'm telling y'all right now, you want to save some time, don't watch these videos because it's going to get killed. Unless you just like more, if you have a morbid sense of humor. John Anile said, if I had to drink one beer every day for the rest of my life, it would be the Busch Signature Copper Lager. Oh, wait, never mind. Yeah, right, never mind. Yeah, that would be my choice. Or Coors Extra Gold, but no, it would be the Busch Signature Copper Lager. But Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, I would drink the Torpedo. Coors Banquet. I would be fine with anything, you know. I'm not like obsessed with that kind of stuff. Plus, it's a hypothetical question and it doesn't apply to reality because it's not going to happen. That's it. King Robert II is the clear and present winner. So next time we come back, it'll be like I said, something like J.W. Dant or Trader Joe's blended Scotch. Now, could Trader Joe's blended Scotch be a comparable product? You know, kind of cheap, kind of shabby, $10.99 a liter. Yeah, it'd be something like that. Trader Joe's blended Scotch. Is it good? Well, it's good for $10.99 a liter. It's all right. It exists. All right. Well, y'all take care. And now it's on to college football. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching, y'all.